Alright, hello friends, and welcome to this. I was recording a little bit of Pokemon Reborn earlier today, and we're at the part where I am supposed to be battling Florinia, the second gym leader. But I failed, and so I had to grind a little bit, and I decided while I was grinding, I might as well kind of show a little bit of that grinding process as we talk about a few things. In this, you're going to be seeing in the background, I recorded it earlier, and now I'm recording this voice over later, but you're going to be seeing just some general leveling. A little bit later, I head into the casino and start doing some Voltorb Flip, because I found out that some of the Pokemon that you can get in the casino, like Shinx, for example, you can only get in the casino. You can't get anywhere else, so I definitely need to get those coins in order to get Shinx. I'm slowly working on it, but I thought it would be an interesting concept to just every so often, when I feel like I need to talk about something or when I need a really big grinding session, just to give a little bit of a behind the scenes update news sort of video. That's what this is. It's not going to be like every single video is now suddenly a news video, but just, we can have some moments where we play a little bit of Pokemon or whatever game in the background, and we discuss some topics, do a little ramble maybe, who knows. So I have written down a couple of things that I wanted to talk about throughout this video, few topics, just going over some of the stuff that I have decided for my channel in the past, some things that I'm still thinking of in the future. Like I said, a very rambly format, but there's some information in here occasionally. The very first topic that I wanted to bring up is this channel in particular, and what court of games and what sort of games I'm playing on it. As you've seen, I've been mixing up 3 different games recently from 3 different genres of video gaming. I have found just in life, in playing video games, that I generally enjoy 3 different types of games. I like RPGs, I like farm sims, and I like visual novels. And so what I've been doing is I've been playing a game from each of those genres and posting them one after another, let's say. So on, let's say Monday, I'm playing an RPG. On Tuesday, I'm playing a farm sim, and on Wednesday, I'm playing a visual novel. In particular, for the games that I'm playing right now, Pokemon Reborn falls under that RPG format. Moonstone Island is my farm sim, though as I've talked about before, it feels a little bit more like an RPG to me, or a Pokemon-esque game, than it does a farming sim. And Dreambound is my current visual novel, but that's changed pretty frequently. I know as I continue this formatting and I continue this like every day a different game and then go back to the first one, continue on like that, there are some games that I have listed on the side of like, okay, I want to play this game next, I want to play this game next. In particular, those are a bunch of different Pokemon fan games. There are so many, I'm so excited to play them all. I'll get to them eventually. I'm also debating stuff like Stardew Valley and Coral Island. I've been watching people play Coral Island recently, and I've been really enjoying watching the videos. I really want to buy it for myself, but I'm like, not yet, let's wait a little bit. I also have not played Stardew Valley since 2017, 2019, one of those, I don't fully remember. And so I'm not like the best at it. I've kind of thought through the game and been like, there's a lot of stuff that I don't remember, or I don't think that I remember. A friend and I actually, every Friday night, we play video games together as our sort of like friend gaming night, just to hang out, chat, talk about whatever has gone on throughout our week. And last night was friend gaming night. We played a little bit of Stardew just to like try it out, just to see and be like, we haven't played this in years, so we might as well play a little bit of it. And I was actually really surprised to see how much I still remember from playing it all of those years ago. I do find that there are certain aspects of the game that I'm just not the biggest fan of, as like a personal, how I feel the game's a little bit slow. I don't know if it's necessarily like the time and how quickly time passes in the game, or if it's the running speed, because your character walks very slowly in Stardew Valley. So I'm gonna go behind the scenes, try to figure out any sort of like mods or any sort of changes that I can make in the game when I play it for YouTube for you guys, and we can check it out together. But it was really interesting seeing how much I remember and being like, oh, I remember like this person is here during this day, and I remember that this person's over here, and you get like, my friend asked me, what day do you get your pet? You know, there's one day that Marnie will come and will be like, hey, here's a cat or a dog, you know, whatever you choose. And I was like, oh, that's Spring 5th. And then we got to Spring 5th, and sure enough, we got a cat. How did I remember that? Why is that something that I just have in the back of my brain? You know, it's interesting, the things that you can remember. And then also going back to that list of future plans, there's a lot of visual novels, both in like ones that I want to try the demos of, that they're not fully out, but they'll be coming out in the future, and some that either I played in the past, but it's been a few years, or ones that I've heard a lot about. They got published a few years ago, but I haven't played them personally, so I want to try them out. And I think that that's going to be a really interesting experience for us. I'm definitely really excited for some of my future plans and where all that is going. I hope you are as well, of course. As for some of our games that I played back when I was streaming on Twitch and I was uploading the videos to YouTube just as like a casual, here you go, not really thinking about it. Which also, if you are new to the channel, I used to be a Twitch streamer. I would just take the recordings from those streams, upload them to YouTube just to like pass it on. In January, like January 1st of this year, I decided that I was going to revamp the YouTube channel a little bit. I found out that streaming was something that I wasn't really into. I enjoy recording, rambling, being able to edit the video and take it out into the world rather than streaming. I don't want to say interacting with people, because I do enjoy seeing everybody's comments and little like conversations on my videos, but the live interaction part of that, where like I'm playing a game but I'm also simultaneously watching chat to talk to people, that was a little bit much for me and I wasn't enjoying that, so I started recording videos and posting them to YouTube, and you guys seem to be liking it, so I keep doing it. Anyway, some of those games that I was playing in the past when I was streaming, there are some that I do want to continue one day, and there are some that I'm like, I'm okay with leaving it for right now. So just to quickly go through that list, I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 on stream, and I've talked about this a little bit before, but I think that I'm just going to like put that game to the side and not come back to it, or at the very least not come back to it in a recording version. I don't know. Act 3 is just a very overwhelming act for me, you know, because we are near the end of the game. A lot of stuff that we are doing is very impactful for the story, very scary in a way, and very just like big moments. And I have no idea what I'm doing. We're in an all brand new area. I'm still kind of getting used to where everything is, or even so much of everything that is around what is available to us. But then I also have to be thinking in the back of my mind, okay, I only have a certain number of days to do this thing, or else somebody dies, or I need to do this other thing, this big like world ending plot that we have going on here. And I just found it very overwhelming, very stressful, and I just, like, I could remember as I was streaming thinking about the very next stream that I had to do and be like, okay, I have all these things that I need to do. You know, we have to go here before this time, and we have to go here before this time, and I don't know whether or not I'm going to actually do it correctly. I don't know if I'm going to fail. I don't know if this other thing is going to happen. And it just got too overwhelming that I just stopped. I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I moved on to different games. Despite the fact that I do like Baldur's Gate 3, fandom-wise, story-wise, I enjoy interacting with other people's Baldur's Gate 3 media. Ultimately, I don't think that I am going to continue creating media for it myself because it's just a little bit too overwhelming for me. It may be that in the background I pick it up again and I just try it out without that recording aspect, and I try to finish the game that way, but I haven't wanted to pick it up in months, half a year maybe, and I don't see that changing in the future, or at least the very near future. I was also playing Tales of Symphonia, and I had plans of playing every Tales of game currently available to me, both on PC and the ones that I have for, say, for example, the PS3. I have some that are on PS4, you know, getting a capture card and being able to play those as well. I still want to do that, and I still want to finish Tales of Symphonia in particular. It's just kind of a mixture of I haven't really been in the mood for some of the games that I was streaming, and then also just kind of forget about it. I'm so focused on Pokemon Reborn, on Moonstone Island, on the visual novels that I've been playing, that it's not until I have a schedule kind of made out and I have a few videos that I'm like, okay, this is going to go out soon, that I'm like, oh, I should try to fit this game into the schedule, you know, Tales of Symphonia. And we'll pick up this conversation in a little bit because I also want to talk about one more thing before we continue on a certain aspect of that. So just hold on. And then the third game that I was playing on stream that we didn't 100% finish is Avion, as I was telling you guys on stream. If you watch those streams, when I was a kid, I was around like 10 years old, maybe, so a long time ago. I played Avion. There was like a demo. You could play 2 hours and then you weren't allowed to play anymore, sort of version of it, and I really enjoyed it when I was a kid. I like begged my parents to buy it for me, and they kept saying, no, you have other video games, and then they finally bought it for me, and I was obsessed with it. You know, I was really excited to introduce it to the stream, introduce it to viewers that were watching, because I really enjoy the series in general, not just Avion, but also Avion 2, the 4 different games that are all part of Avion 3. And I still really enjoy those games. Obviously, you don't just overnight decide, I'm not all that into Avion anymore. And I still want to play them, want to continue them. It's just similar to Tales of Symphonia. Not really have been in the mood for it recently, and also just sometimes I forget. Avion in particular, I forget so often. I feel like I remember that I was playing Tales of Symphonia more often than I remember that I was playing Avion. And then I got like 2 episodes, 6 hours into it before I just kind of forgot about it and stopped. So I do want to continue those, but I have a problem. As we were talking about before, earlier in this, when I was talking about the game genres and, you know, how RPGs, I'm currently playing Pokemon Reborn, Farm Sims, and I'm currently playing Moonstone Island. That conversation, both Tales of Symphonia and Avion, I would consider to be RPGs, right? And so with my schedule being, for example, play an RPG on Monday, play a farm sim on Tuesday, play a visual novel on Wednesday, and then RPG again on Thursday. It's difficult for me to schedule in continuing to play Tales of Symphonia and Avion because we're currently playing Pokemon Reborn. You know, it's been this sort of thought that I've had in my brain of, do I want to pause Pokemon Reborn for a little bit in order to play more Tales of Symphonia, in order to play Avion, finish those, and then come back to Pokemon Reborn? Do I want to finish Pokemon Reborn and then go back to Tales of Symphonia and Avion? How exactly I want to do that, plus with all the other games that I want to play in the future. Like, when do I fit these in? I don't want to do too many games concurrently all at once, because I don't want it to be overwhelming, especially as I'm going, you know, this game on this day, this game on this day. If we have, let's say, 5 games, we're doing all of these, and you are a really big fan of Pokemon Reborn, but you don't like Moonstone Island, or, you know, Tales of Symphonia, Avion, Dreammount, all of those, you're gonna have to wait 5 days until you see another Pokemon Reborn video. And that's kind of upsetting. Like, to me, but probably also to you, that you have to wait that long until you can see another episode of the game that you actually want to see. I have seen some creators who do a daily episode. They have like multiple series going on at once, and they'll do, let's say they have 3 games that they're playing. They'll do 3 uploads for every day. And they just keep going in a game until they finished it, maybe take a little bit of a break, and then they pick up a new game. I love that for them. I don't think I can personally do that. Like, I cannot figure out a time schedule for putting that much content into the world. Though I do think it's a really interesting, a really fun way of doing it, and I would be interested in seeing if I can do something like that in the future. But that's, let me just say again, with all of the stress I can on the word, in the future. Not right now, okay? So currently my plan is, with Tales of Symphonia and Avion, of finishing Pokemon Reborn and then maybe continuing on with those games. I believe I'm pretty close to the beginning of Avion. We haven't really done too much in there. I want to say I'm 75% of the way through Tales of Symphonia, but honestly, I have no idea. I've never interacted with the content either in a fandom sort of way, or, you know, watching somebody else play. I don't know that much about the game to know exactly where I am in the game, but we're definitely a lot further into Tales of Symphonia than we are into Avion, so that would probably be the first one that I focus on. It's just, I'm trying to figure out scheduling behind the scenes, trying to figure out what to do with all of these games, but just so you know, I do want to eventually go back and finish those 2 games in particular. I don't think we had any others that we were in the middle of during streams that I wanted to focus on. We had a few like one-offs, but you know, whatever. The final topic that I wanted to bring up during this, which looking at the time, we have about 40 minutes left, so there's going to be some rambling going on in this video or something. I don't know yet. But the final topic that I wanted to talk about is something that is not in the near future, but later, like maybe later in the year, or maybe just like very definitely not right now, okay? So as a creator on YouTube, as a YouTuber, there are certain aspects of YouTube that I can see can come up in my future, but we're not at the level of that yet. And so basically the thing is, once I get 500 subscribers, I get access to the first level of monetization, which is specifically memberships and like tips, super chats, stuff like that. And so I've been thinking ahead into the possibility of that, because I'd really like to give you guys more content. As I was saying, like, I really like those people. I look up to those people who can do multiple uploads a day. I just personally can't right now. You know, and I want to make sure if you're enjoying my content, if you're liking what you are seeing, that you get more of that, more of what you are enjoying, you know. And so just thinking ahead of that, you know, very much not soon. Part of that is I'm also debating opening up a Patreon around the same time, because I've heard from some people online that they just don't like YouTube memberships for whatever reason. You know, if they just would rather have it hosted on an external site, if they have, you know, problems with YouTube and the way that they run their own website, etc. And so I have a little bit of an idea of different, like, tiers, different levels of that membership, and what sort of things that I would be able to give anybody who joins that. Some of the stuff I'm still working on, so definitely, like, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my god, yes, I am so interested in that, and I also would love to see this in the future, let me know, because I won't know unless you tell me. But definitely, like, some sort of maybe like end screen thank you for, you know, supporting the channel. Thank you for, you know, put your name in the video. I think that's really interesting. I love when I see people do that. I'm also kind of looking into doing more like early access videos. Something currently, as of right now, in my recording process, I'm recording videos and then I'm putting them up the next day. Like, that is how quickly you see these videos. And I want to spread it out a little bit more. I don't want to have to be thinking about, okay, what am I posting the next day? I want to be thinking, maybe what am I posting 3 days from now? You know, so that should something happen during the day, I don't have to worry about, okay, well, now I don't have anything to post tomorrow. For example, like yesterday, I didn't have a post because I was busy. I thought that I was going to be recording so many things. I was like so dedicated, so ready to spend my entire day recording. And then I had to write so many emails, so many background, just like housekeeping kind of stuff, that I didn't end up having time to record anything. Plus, also yesterday was game night with my friend, so I couldn't do anything at night because we were hanging out. We were, you know, we dedicate that day specifically. Try to make sure that we put some time aside specifically to play games with each other. And so I want to kind of focus a little bit more on making a gap between what I am posting, what I am, you know, recording, so that should anything pop up like that again, I don't have to worry about, okay, well, now I don't have anything for the next day to upload. And that goes hand in hand with any sort of Patreon, YouTube membership, stuff like that, where for a certain amount of money a month, I don't know what yet, you can see those videos as I record them, you know, as I get them done. Here you go, here's a new one. It's going to be up in, again, let's say 3 days, because that's sort of what I'm aiming for. If I have to do more and it ends up being like 4 days, for example, really cool. But we're aiming for 3. And then you can get the excitement of being the first one, of knowing something that everybody else doesn't know. I also think that it'd be really interesting to allow people to suggest a game, you know, be like, I think that this is really interesting, I want to see you play it, stuff like that. And I think that part of that specific tier of membership would be actually paying for the game. I haven't 100% decided, you know, any of this, but it's sort of my thoughts, what I am thinking of. Again, let me know if that's something that you're interested in, if you have any other options, any other things that you want to see that wise. And also just a little like note that if you are not interested, or you just, you know, cannot join something like that for whatever reason, that's totally fine. That's totally cool. It does not bother me in any way. It's just something, you know, if you're interested in something like that, I said interested wrong, but that's okay. If you'd like to support the channel in any way, or just, you know, help out in that regard, that's available to you. But if you don't, it's cool too. I don't really think that there's going to be anything available on that you wouldn't eventually see. Like I was saying, you know, scheduling videos 3 days in advance, they'll eventually come out. Stuff like having your name on some sort of like credits screen at the end of the video. I mean, yeah, you'd miss out on that, but if you don't want your name there, that's cool. If you do, you're like, oh, that's really interesting and I'd love to be able to show my support, there you go, you got that, stuff like that. And that's all the topics that I had planned for this video. If you have any other topics that you think would be interesting for me to talk about in a future video, I'm sure I'm going to be in a situation again where I'm having to grind in Pokemon Reborn or grind in a different game, and you know, I'll have some time to record some background video and then record another video of me talking over top of that. If you have anything that you want to hear about, you want to know more about, or, you know, just topic ideas, let me know. Otherwise, it's just going to be as I'm thinking of things, I'll put them on a piece of paper and I will figure it out as I go, you know, save them until I have another day where I need to make a video like this, or I have enough to make a video like this. Like, I'm not joking. Literally, I put all these topics on, what is this, a sticky note, and I've just been referencing it every so often. Yes, I need to talk about this, and yes, this. So, you know, that's where it would go in the future, but I don't know that I have anything else to ramble about, and I don't want to waste your time by rambling and saying random things that aren't important, that could just be in a normal video as they pop into my head. So I think that we are going to go ahead and end this video here. If I have any other things that I need to talk about, again, in the future, we'll talk about them. But yes, thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was informative to you, that you enjoyed some of the topics that we talked about, that you just are interested, I guess, in hearing some stuff that's going on inside my brain. There's a lot. And I will see you in the future for another video. Give me a second to figure out my stuff in Pokemon Reborn, you know, do all this grinding that I need to do. I'll battle Florinia eventually. But if you don't see Pokemon Reborn in a little bit, you'll know I'm still struggling with it. I'm still having difficulties. Tomorrow's video is going to be more Moonstone Island, and then Dreambound after that. That game has been so much longer than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's a demo. I thought it was going to take maybe 1 to 2 hours. The fact that we're on episode 4 that I need to record, and we're still not done with the demo, I'm seriously worried that I somehow got the full game. They aren't even done creating it yet, and I'm seriously sitting here going, what if they accidentally uploaded the entire game as a demo? But yeah, I should stop rambling and work on some new stuff in the background. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the future.